And that's as close as come.
Yeah.
As he's come to saying he was fired, basically.
That was pretty obvious, Joe. I think that was painfully obvious from the very start. He wasn't happy. I'm surprised he's actually made those comments at the weekend. He was pretty adamant he wasn't going to speak till after the season. But you can obviously tell him maybe he's a little bit irked, and he was pretty much shown the door. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
A lot of eulogies during the week, which you can understand, but the simple fact is, hasn't been good enough, and he bears ultimate responsibility.
Has his legacy been tarnished in your mind, Ken? That suggestion.
Well, it depends what the legacy is. What's his legacy?
Premier League titles.
How great a manager is he?
Champions League finals.
Yeah, I think that's fair as a general term to throw out there, but I think specifically if you look at the kind of last half a dozen years of his Arsenal career, I don't think it's been good enough. I think player recruitment has been poor. I think he's been found out a little bit in terms of tactically, in terms of the approach of his team, how well they're prepared, how well they're drilled. We've spoken about that earlier. I think he's been overtaken. A lot of top managers now, they just don't accept it. You know, they prepare their teams. Everybody understands their role. They have a clear vision in terms of what they're going to do on the pitch and now possession of the football. We know that's the way with Klopp. Conte, Guardiola is a manic obsessive when it comes to these things, and you see the benefit. It's no surprise that these are the teams that have been contesting the Premiership over the past couple of years. So that's what they need in a new manager who comes in, who can get the work done on the training pitch, and who can get the player recruitment, which is now going to pass into the hands of other people at the football club.
I would argue it has damaged his legacy. I think we'll never in our minds be able to fully separate the last decade of Arsene Wenger's career from his overall achievements. I think Kenny used the phrase "found out" there. I think you will look at Wenger and you'll think, well, look, he was ahead of the curve for a little while in diet and nutrition, but as soon as everybody caught up and as soon as that golden era of French players he knew so well had gone from a recruitment point of view, he wasn't able to set up the team properly. So I think actually you'll have a second thought now if you were to say Arsene Wenger is one of the great managers we've seen. As brilliant as he was for that 10-year period, I think it has damaged his legacy. Yeah,
I mean, Graham Souness certainly doesn't think so. I read his column at the weekend in the Sunday Times, and that was pretty much, it was scathing of Wenger in many different ways. So I mean, you're looking at someone like Souness, and you're seeing everything that he's done in the game, and he was suggesting basically if he was at any other club in the Premier League, in world football, he simply wouldn't have been at Arsenal. He wouldn't have been at that club, whichever one he was at, given his record over the last 10 years, given the budget that they had as well at times. So you look at it, we all talk it now, we all know how it is in relation to budgets. I was listening to Keith Andrews' show last week as well. He was talking about the job that Sean Dyche has done in relation. They're only is it 4 points behind Arsenal now in the Premier League? The budgets, Burnley have the third lowest. Arsenal have the fourth highest or third highest in the Premier League. You're looking at it like that, and the job he's done, it simply hasn't been good enough. No.
That's the job as a manager. Really, I'd say the two biggest areas for me are player recruitment in terms of spending your money. There was a period when he didn't have the money to spend, and I think in terms of how he managed the team during that period, difficult kind of transitional period, which they call it, was admirable, and I think deserves credit for that. But over the last couple of years, the kind of money's been there, and I think what may have alarmed the people up above in the boardroom was how we started to spend their money, and obviously wasting a lot of that money. There's been a lot of money, significant amount of money spent over the past couple of years, and you wouldn't say the squad has been strengthened as a result of it. And that's huge for me. You get those. You get that player recruitment wrong, spending those vast sums of money, then the alarm bells start ringing.
Just to maybe add to it as well, and he is technically as good a football as you're going to see. I don't know how you can justify giving Mesut Ozil the wages that you're giving him in relation to his contribution into games without the ball, with the ball. Because you look at you look at Liverpool, you look at other side, you look at Man City. What do they do without the ball? And it's a team ethic. It's almost if you have to actually build a team around him. What is he going to give you?
You're right, he epitomised me. He was actually wrong at the football club. As great a footballer, as a technician of football as he is, Mesut Ozil, everything that's wrong at that football in terms of how he's indulged. Even if you look at him the last game in Moscow and the previous game, his body language during that game, and at times in the second leg, Arsene were under pressure, 2-0 down, in danger of going out, and he was a disgrace in terms of how he carried himself on the pitch, not prepared to do any work for the team when he hadn't got the football. So that kind of self-indulgent nature, you can't carry.
That's got repercussions, though, Kenny, within the squad. Do you feel
absolutely. It's no surprise Ramsey hasn't committed himself to a contract. People think, it's a one-off contract. It's not. there's a ripple effect. So that's why Wiltshire hasn't. So that's why Ramsey. That's why Koscielny and others would be going in, knocking on the door, saying, "I want parity to Mesut Ozil." The only good thing, giving him that wage and signing him to a long-term contract, is that they'll actually get a signing-on fee for him. Because for me, the new manager who comes in, he's probably one of the first you want to get out the door. The problem is, on such a huge wage there, you're probably going to have to pay him to walk out the exit door at Arsenal Football Club.